Monday morning. Today I have meetings all week and Thursday is open house, so I will be prepping all week for that when I have a chance, like a break during my meetings or during my lunch. This is my first time since June that I've had to set an alarm this morning. And I have a sore throat. Just an awful way to start a Monday morning. It's Tuesday and it's about noon, and I didn't get to finish videoing yesterday. I had meetings all day, and then after my meeting I did a few things. I logged my kids into Dojo. I printed off the parent information sign-up letter for Dojo. I invited parents through the text that Dojo does. And I'm going to stuff their folders with the Dojo paper for open house. I made a PowerPoint for open house that has a list of things that they need to get done before they leave. On Dojo, I linked a lot of our district information, like our lunch menu and the free and reduced lunch application and our school calendar. I linked all of those things to Class Dojo, so parents can just open it up at open house and click the links and fill out what they need to fill out. I also made a survey through Google Docs for the parents to fill out. It has things like their name, their primary contact number, how they're going to get home, if they want to volunteer in the classroom or the school. So it has those things. I basically took this paper right here and I made it into a survey form on Google Docs. So I had a meeting this morning, our district-wide meeting, and it was very exciting and motivating to get us going throughout the year and to remember to stay positive when things, get to be a little rough. So I'm really excited to meet my students and make a difference, or hope to make a difference, with the best that I can. I have 2 hours until I have to meet back up for the rest of our afternoon for our meeting. So during this time, I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to get their folders out for open house. And what else? I don't know. Let me think on that and I'll get back to you and let you know with what I did. So I've been working on my students' Tuesday folders. Last year each student had a paper like this that was in the front as the cover of their folder, and then this was in the back of the cover. It says, "On Tuesday your child will bring home notes and completed work. Please take out any papers you would like to keep as treasure. Leave the unwanted papers inside the folder to be recycled at school. Please initial under the date below indicating that you have received your child's papers and notes and are returning them to be recycled. Thank you." So on Tuesday, students will get their papers out of their mailboxes over here, and they will put them in what's called their Tuesday folder. Now right now their Tuesday folder is being used for open house papers. So right now in their Tuesday folder I have the Dojo sign up form in the front, and then I'll have my syllabus and other things in there here to come soon. But I don't need these just yet, but I went ahead and made them. And instead of doing these as the cover this year, I'm going to use these papers that I've made. The clips art is off the internet, and Teachers Pay Teachers, things like that. And I just kind of put it all together and combined it. If I can find who was the creator of these images and things, I'll put them below. But I just created these. My plan is for them to write their name big across up here, or I might write their name, and then they could color their superhero. And this will be their Tuesday folder cover that they will put in their folder. So when they bring these back to me after the first day of school, I'll take out all their papers. This will be a good first day of school, color this and then put it in your folder, and then we'll put those up until we need them again next Tuesday. We'll go put them over there in that mailbox. So there's one activity kind of planned for open house and one activity kind of planned for the first day of school. Here's two other little classroom management things that I do. This paper I made, it says this looks like a job for, and you have your little superhero here. I have line leader, caboose, and I just write students' names in these spots. Lights and door, greeter, lunch couch, substitute. I just write their names in the box, and each 9 weeks or however often I want to change jobs, I'll just have extra copies all ready to go so I don't have to mess with it the rest of the year. And I just stick them in this pocket chart right here. Then this paper just says how do I get home. I might recreate this, but for right now it's fine. But I'll have the different buses the kids ride. I'll separate them by bus number, and then if they go to our local Boys and Girls Club or car rider, I'll write their name. After school tutoring, I'll write their name under each box. And again, I have lots of copies of this that I'm going to stick in a pocket, because we know that this changes throughout the year. And this pocket will go right over here by my door as you're leaving. That will go right there in this pocket chart. I did change kind of the look of my door. This was in a pocket chart, and I just ended up taping it on the door so that I could fit my actual schedule beside it. So there's my door. We do a word of the month. There's that, and then just our recycling sign and our no bullying sign. So there you have it. So the next thing I'm going to be working on is creating a writing goals poster, and this is off Teachers Pay Teachers. I just printed it. I need to go copy this onto colored paper, but I want to make a clip chart, and students can put a clip on where I want them or where they think they need to work the most. I printed another one here from Teachers Pay Teachers. These were free. But I think I'm liking this one better because once again, you know how I love how it has pictures. It's very clear exactly what what it says. So for those kids that struggle with reading, you know, we have visuals to help them remember what it's exactly talking about. So I'm going to start making this, and I'll show you what it looks like. So I've created my writing goals chart. It really took me like 10 minutes because the laminator was already hot and ready. So it didn't take me long to just copy this on colored paper. I put it together with little hooks, and I might find that there might be something that I need on here. Like I notice I would like to use WordWall to help spell words. I already know I'm going to want that one. But I want to make sure that I actually get lots of use out of this year, and then next year maybe I can make it a little bit more for what I specifically need. But I know these are the basic ones that I was wanting to have, so next year I could personalize it if I find that I actually do use it a lot. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on something that, yes, I have good intentions of using this, but when reality comes and sets in and the craziness of the school starts, will I actually use it? So I'm going to try my best to use it. I also write students' goals on the first page of their folder, so I don't know if I'm going to be doing something twice or if this is the better option, because that way I could call a small group of kids and say, okay, all of these kids that I have you on writing neatly, come, let's work on handwriting today or something, or all these, you know. So I can look up here really fast and see where there are if I'm conferencing them to make sure that they're meeting their goal. That was my idea for me to post it, so that I could know really quickly what they're working on. So I'm hoping that this is going to get great use, but I might notice as the year goes along that there might be a goal on here that I need to add. And if that's the case, I'll just add it next year. But before I spend a whole lot of time in it on making it all fancy and cute and specific for my classroom, I'm just going to see if this year I actually use it and it works for me. And yeah, so I will let you know how I like this as the year goes on. So the next thing I'm going to get ready for open house, this is also on Teachers Pay Teachers, is It says, welcome to 2nd grade. Here's your first homework assignment, and it's an All About Me bag. So I need to cut these out and staple them to each bag. This and all these things will also go in their open house folder. So I'm about to tackle that now. That anything that you make for open house, like this get to know you bag or your class syllabus, save extras for throughout the year when new students move in. It will save you a lot of time and energy because you can just hand them this packet. They could bring this the next day, tell a little bit about themselves. You already have this ready for your parents and your information. So just remember to make extras. That's going to be your best friend throughout the year. So I just printed off this Scoop on Summer book from Simply Skilled in 2nd. And it's a flip-flap book, and I've printed the pages for the student. But after a long day of sitting in meetings, sometimes you just need a break. So I'm going to sit here, I'm going to color, I'm going to enjoy some music, and I'm going to make me an example book to show the kids. Everything, but I've left a few things blank so we can kind of do it as I'm explaining it to them. So we'll do a page per day probably, and then put it all together at the very end. So like I said, I've colored most of the pages. Some I've filled out completely, some I've still got some to fill out, but this is just going to save me time as I'm showing them how to do it each day. I already have a good example to show. So I just put students' nameplates in their cubbies. I printed this. I'm going to let them color it, and then where the little circle is, I'm going to put a little head picture of them and laminate them, and they'll have their own little mini superheroes. I'm not exactly sure what we'll use these for yet. I was thinking maybe we have to like show what reading level they are, like on a growth chart. And I was thinking, instead of using this one, readers grow like beanstalk, up the beanstalk, instead of using this one that I made, thinking about maybe creating a superhero one. And they could fly in the sky so far up high. So that might be what I use those for, to kind of mark their progress on their reading levels. So when something comes to my mind that I want to get done, I email myself to do, and just as a reminder. So I'm going to spend the next few minutes going through all of these reminders and seeing what I've already done, what I need to do, what I can do quickly just to get it off the list. So here I go. Okay, so I went through my email to-do list, and here's some things that I've done. So I wanted to have a spot where students could read some positive affirmations, and maybe even we could read some throughout the day. So I just Googled some different positive affirmations. I'm going to post these by my behavior board over there, probably like right there at the bottom below that. And then I want to make a ring of cards that have positive affirmations on it, and we might say one each morning or talk about what they mean. Then after we really get to understand what they mean, I have this paper. It says my positive thoughts and affirmations. They can write some down. I printed this out from Teachers Pay Teachers. I'll just put it on yellow cardstock. Then tomorrow I'm going to laminate all of this stuff that's on colored paper. I'm going to laminate tomorrow as is. I'm not going to cut out first and then laminate and cut out again. I'm laminating just like this and then cutting out. It should be just fine. So these numbers are going to go around my clock up there. I have this that I laminated, or that I'm not going to laminate, but that I'm going to put in here for open house so they know where to turn in things. I have the student behavior log that's going to go in their daily folder. I printed off some growth mindset activities. I'm not sure if I'm going to use these exact ones just yet. I need to like read through here and see if it's appropriate for 2nd grade. But I do really want to do some of these the first week of school, so I might have to look up some more activities. But I went ahead and printed it off just to keep it in mind. And then on Teachers Pay Teachers, I also printed off this procedures and expectations, so I can just, as I'm writing my lesson plans, make sure that I cover all of these procedures for the first few weeks.
I'm ready to call it a day and go home, but before I get off here, I want to know, what do you do to build that relationship with your students? One thing that I want to do this year that I've never done before is call students the night before school and just kind of, you know, say everything's going to be alright, I'm excited to see you, I can't wait, you know, just kind of get their butterflies out. The other thing I want to do is, I haven't done this before, is for the first 6 weeks of school, I have 6 tables in my room, so I say the first 6 weeks of school is to allow students to eat in my classroom on Fridays, each table a week. And that way I can just build a more close connection with my students, because I really feel like if they know that I care, that they're going to want to care. So if you have any comments about what you do, please leave that in the description comment section below. Sorry, my phone's ringing.